It's about time they started fighting. My goodness. Superman versus Batman, The Dawn of Justice. Why don't you actually just leave the movie title at The Dawn of Justice? Like, when you put the Superman versus Batman in there, it already tells the audience what's going to happen. It's not like... It already tells the audience that there's going to be a major superhero throwdown. And as we've already seen from the trailers, if you watch the trailers, you're like, oh, yep, they're gonna fight. Cool. So because the movie itself has Superman v. Batman in the title, you're sitting there for an hour and a half to 2 hours worth of movie just waiting for this fight to happen. And when it finally does happen, it ends in the most anticlimactic way possible. And you're just sitting here like, why did I wait for 2 hours for this? It's kind of like the Hunger Games, which I will get around to reviewing. The title itself tells the audience what's going to happen, but they still have to sit through an hour and a half or an hour of backstory and blah, build up and whatever. And the climax itself is written in the title, and so everyone's always just waiting for that and expecting that, and they get bored with the movie, as I did. I really hated this movie. Honestly, I don't like many things about this movie. First off, being the characters. I think they played the character of Batman totally wrong. They played him to be some psychopathic murderer who's bent on revenge for this one girl that he found in the city where her parents were killed when Superman was trying to kill Zod so that Zod doesn't destroy the city and destroy humanity. Like, there's a lot of resentment, and I find it weird that Batman, who probably could have actually just teamed up with Superman and said, you know, I don't like what you're doing. Can we find another way around it? And I guess there's no conflict after that, but I think that if they teamed up and then they combined, tried to take down Lex Luthor, but then Lex Luthor got away and led up to a sequel, I think it would have made a much better movie. It would have been so much more exciting. Or if you titled this movie just The Dawn of Justice, would have been way more accurate. The audience wouldn't have been bored because they wouldn't have predicted Superman versus Batman. Gee, I wonder what's going to happen. They're probably going to go to court. Actually, they kind of did go to court at one point, didn't they? We don't talk about that. That's a boring part. The whole movie itself was kind of boring because you're jumping around between several different timelines. You have Batman, you have Superman, then you have Wonder Woman, and then you also have Lex Luthor. You're all trying to keep track of. So actually, it's pretty much just Superman trying to keep track of all of them. And so they're all just this weird, big, compiled ball of crap. I don't know. Maybe crap's too strong here. But they're like this big... It's like if you take if you took like 50 pairs of headphones, folded them up and put it in your pocket for a day, and then took them back out, and it's just this massive tangle of wires that you don't know which end is which. That's basically kind of what this movie is, because you look into it and you're like, oh, hey, where the heck did Aquaman and the Flash come from? And if you haven't watched the movie already, I'm just going to assume that you don't care about this movie because honestly, you can skip it. It's just a 2-hour-long Justice League trailer on top of Superman dying. Superman dies. Guys, Superman dies at the end of the movie, and then the rocks levitate around his grave so people think that Superman comes back to life. Basically, if I want to break down the whole movie into less confusing parts, Superman fights Zod in the very beginning, so we see a little bit of Man of Steel in there, destroys the city. Batman gets mad at Superman for destroying the city because I don't know. Even you, as you saw, I tried to simplify the movie down to points, but I couldn't even do that because there's so many trails that go off, and then they have these loose ends that are just everywhere. This movie's like a bad hair day. I'm trying to use all these analogies to explain how this movie is, how crappy this movie is, because it's just all over the place. It's loose ends. It's a big ball of mush. It's a big cacophony that sounds terrible, but you want to sound good, and it looks exciting on paper, but in reality the movie itself is dull and drawn out. If they specifically focused on one character and their development and interaction with one other character, and then they had a couple other characters make cameos but not necessarily be major roles, that would also make this movie a lot better, because then you'd be focused on one thing and you wouldn't be so bored all the time. But instead we're given all this 2 hours of backstory like Marvel does, and it's just bad. It's just boring. It's ugh. It's no, it's a bad idea. So overall, this movie is just basically, guys, as I said before, this is just basically a 2-hour long Justice League trailer, and you're probably better off avoiding this. So that ends this review. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy the video, hit the like, or if you think I could have changed something, could have done better, or could have added something more to the review, comment down in the comment box below. And we'll see you all on the flip side. Peace.